I think that ship has sailed.
Commander, if you would grace us with a log, please.
Station Commander's log, start date A52901.1. We are still waiting on... Hold on, that means sound loud. There we go. Station Commander's log, start date A52901.1. We are still 2 weeks out until the SSS Yankee appears with our replacement supplies, and we still don't have word on where the specialty science crews are at, but they're still assumed to be 3 weeks out. I've managed to take the station office. It's through some underhanded deals. I'm not entirely sure or how that's gonna work overall with the Andorian and security commander. And right now, my main concern should be having to tell the colony councilmen, and that they will all have to move their major function of the colony from mining and drilling to something else, as we commandeer their mine shaft. However, my concern is to be more focused on Adon in sickbay, still unconscious since his endeavor with the mysterious artifact down underneath the planet's surface. Somewhat against my better judgment, I've allowed Lieutenant Commander Tamira to engage in a Vulcan mind meld with him in hopes of reviving him and finding out more about this mysterious artifact surface. Let's hope that my judgment doesn't lead us astray. Commander out.
Our first scene begins as we return back to the mind of Dr. Lorba. Last we left off, Tamira had been approaching him as he seemed to have been gazing into the gate and seeing something. Dr. Lorba, what is it he's seeing?
15 years ago on the surface of Bejor at the height of the occupation, there's a crowd being rushed towards an old scavenged shuttle, and a Bajoran wearing a Vedex robes is pushing a young blonde Bajoran onto the shuttle as he screams and begs not to be sent away.
And as you witness this scene, Dr. Lorba, you have this sense, you're not sure how, but you get the feeling you might be able to change the outcome. You can change what happened. And just then, that's when you kind of feel someone touch you on your shoulder, and you're woken out of it, and you see Lieutenant Commander Tamira staring you right in the face.
Command.
In the sick bay, though, right?
No, they're in front of the gate.
They're still there? Oh, okay.
Doctor, You cannot help them.
I could have, if they didn't send me away, I could have.
But you are just a child. You cannot change the past. Trust me. It can have dire consequences.
But if I hadn't left, you shouldn't be seeing this. No one's supposed to. I never even told Lenandris about this.
Doctor, this is your soul. You're currently in a mental state at the moment. You are in sickbay on board the station.
Lorba, give me a fitness plus medicine roll, difficulty 2. Mira, you actually can assist with this because you're linked. You can tell that his mind doesn't realize that that's what's happening, and it's disbelieving you. Or trying to, anyway.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, you make it.
But still with a complication.
Use determination on the first roll of the game.
Complications are fun sometimes. I can go with this, especially because this is about a make my feels happen scene. So.
Lorba, you take 3 stress as your brain tries very hard to disbelieve, and it hurts, and you get the memories kind of flood by you, and it's visceral. You're there, you're feeling it, and then, whoa, okay, yeah, doesn't seem Tamara's lying to you. And if anything, you almost feel like there's this other calmness, this alien calmness, distant from you, that's reaching out to help you realize that you're not actually here. It's in your head, for lack of a better way to put it.
Okay, so if this is just a dream, a vision, why am I so sure I can change it if I wanted to?
Remember, Doctor, there are people who care about you in the present.
You're right. An address? Is that you? I need to go. I can't walk. I don't know if I can walk away again. It was impossible the first time, but I didn't have a choice. But I can't go back. I can't go back. I promised I wouldn't turn my back again. Can you help me? I can't stay here.
Focus, Doctor. Can you do sort of a mind meld inside of a mind meld? That's a curious one.
It's going to be a presence plus command roll that Lorba needs to achieve, difficulty 2. Mira, you can assist because, again, you're linked. He's just trying to get control of his mind again.
Presence command difficulty 2.
Yep.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and take a threat?
Okay.
That's a nope.
Lorba tries to step away off the pedestal there, the platform, if you will, before the gate, and his upper body turns to move, but his feet are almost like they're glued to the spot. Tamira can step away, but Lorba finds himself unable to he can't move.
I can't. I this is one of those prophets things that I'm stuck.
Concentrate, Doctor.
You can attempt again at increased complication. If a complication rolls, something bad's gonna happen.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to blow my determination early. I'm gonna use the value. I will watch my brother's back because he's the one I heard calling to me in the darkness. So I'll go ahead and spend that determination.
Okay, I'll give that to you.
And okay. Okay, that's one momentum before the assist. Okay.
Gain 1 momentum. And Lorby, you can feel the air changing. It's not quite so body temperature anymore. It's somewhat chilled. You can feel something on your face, like little, not pinpricks, but pressure. The heat of someone near you.
Who's there?
I am right here, Doctor.
You can hear noises, instruments. The gate's starting to fade, and the scene is getting more and more distant.
Okay, and Lorba turns back and he sees the end of that scene, which was the shuttle doors closing and him banging on the doors, begging them not to make him go.
And that's when Lorba's eyes open. You feel like you've been sleeping for hours and hours. That sore feeling of laying down for way too long.
Tamira?
She releases the mind meld. Excuse me, Doctor.
Was that real?
To an extent.
Idon?
Lynette. An address. Sorry to make you work.
And I go in for a hug.
Ow! Oh, careful, I'm still a little sore.
Mira steps away as she sort of wipes the tears from her eyes.
How long was I out for?
Few days.
Days?
The doctors didn't want us to try anything this reckless so early. I had to pull a rank to get us this far.
Well, it seems to have worked out somewhat.
Sir, incoming hail.
You see a blink coming from a nearby console. Bridge. You can see it says "Bridge to Captain" in text.
Okay, I go to answer it. It's a text channel, or?
You hear audio. Sorry, be station commander. Wouldn't say captain. Duh. Anyway. Commander, sorry to disturb you. We're getting a message from the one of the counselors, the Federation counselor. He wants to speak with you about something rather urgent.
Where is he located? Is he on the surface or is he coming up?
He's hailing us from his office. He's on priority 2 right now.
Tell him I'll be there in 30 minutes. And it's I have to wrap this up.
Aye, sir. Operations out.
And that's the next thing I've been dealing with.
Well, soon as my colleagues here give me a clearance to go back on duty, I'll have your back. Always.
Never let you down before.
All right, you go take care of your important Federation duties. I'll get back on my feet as soon as they'll let me.
Tamara,
Yes, Commander.
do you need to be looked over, or after or doing the thing, or are you clear to go back to duty?
A brief moment to meditate as I recenter myself should be more than adequate. Adequate.
Okay. Hey, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna need you back on duty as soon as possible.
Of course, Commander.
So, Idan, what did you see down there?
Oh, nothing you'd want to hear about. Just from before. From before we met.
Time travel?
Something like that. Just normal. Not normal. Normal. I don't like to talk about growing up the occupation, and it's not really something I ever like to talk about, especially on a planet where, half the people around me could read my mind anyway.
I was polite about it.
To be fair, yeah. Um, I don't know. Look, I wasn't my. I I was a kid when they set me off world, and now I know it's for my own good. But at the time, and given what I know of the people left behind, it's hard for me to talk about out loud, if that makes any sense.
I try to understand as best I can.
You do fine. You do fine. It's just I should rest.
Okay.
You don't need to worry about me. I'll starting to feel better already. But
Officially, I want a report of what you saw by the end of the day. Unofficially, I'm glad you're back.
glad to be back, bro. Now go. You got stuff. You got stuff to deal with. You don't need to be worrying about me. I'll get a pad and draft that report for you. Be back on duty before you know it.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Soon, sooner rather than later. I hope.
I'll see you soon.
I sir.
And I go to the nearest transporter pad.
So you leave the med bay. Tamira, do you head to your quarters or?
1 second, real quick.
Sure.
Doctor, I wish to apologize for the mental intrusion. I felt somewhat responsible for your condition. It was most logical to try and help you.
Yeah, I suppose it was logical. What you saw there, it's not something I'm proud of, and more than that, it's not something I understand. But I think I can trust your discretion.
It seemed a very personal matter, Doctor, and you have my word that I will not speak of it to anyone.
I appreciate that, Commander. Sure, one of the Vedics would say something about my paw or something, but it's been a while since I looked at the prophecies. But yeah, I'm sorry you had to see that.
It is quite all right, Doctor. If you don't mind, I need to meditate.
Please, by all means.
And she just kind of gives a slight bow as she exits sickbay.
And he just leans back in the bed and exhales.
Mr. Helix. Are you with us?
Yes.
As you are working away, you are told that one of the freighter captains that are planning to come to the station wants to speak with you.
Yes, yes. Go ahead and button up that over there. Get those supplies moved up to the top. Yeah, that. Okay, thank you. Helix here.
A Endorian woman appears on the screen. You can kind of see that wherever this person's talking to you from, it's probably not from their bridge. It's most likely their quarters or some other portable device. This is I'm speaking with the quartermaster of Outpost Andon.
You sure are. This is Helix. May I ask who's calling?
I'm Captain Shafiri of the SS Solar Pioneer. Just wanted to confirm that we're going to have a berth when we arrive. Looks like I was able to cut some time off, so should be getting there about no more than 6 hours, I'd say.
Just one moment. Let me check. And then that's that moment where, as I'm switching part of the tech panel to the scheduling and this and that, I'm also checking my neural interface to see, kind of like that's also a good place where schedules and stuff should be so that I can access them quick.
Mm-hmm.
And see where the berth was supposed to be when they're supposed to arrive, and if that same berth is free with this new time, or if I need to make some arrangements.
Give me reason plus engineering, difficulty 1 because of the neural connector.
Excellent. Okay, and I don't have any bold or cautious or anything like that, so I'm not worried about any of those things.
And the
Difficulty
Outpost can help
1.
with this role with computers plus engineering.
Oh, good. And then my quartermaster stuff as a focus.
Yes.
Ha ha! 2 momentum at least, so now... Oh, okay, well... Apparently, I'm using one of those momentum to get rid of that.
Well, 2 of them.
Command deck. There is something wrong with the scheduling system for docking. I'm not sure if there's a programming issue or something wrong, but it should be looked into. And then
Operations here, Helix. Yeah, we just saw the interface. We'll reset that for you. Sorry about that.
no problem, thank you. And then I helix out and then switch back over and say to Shafiri, Captain Shafiri, just one moment. Space stations, every once in a while there's glitches in systems as as they are. I'm looking now, and then I put her back on hold for a second. Not on hold into where she can't see me, but just in the sense of so she doesn't have to hear all the background noise of the station promenade and all that.
Yeah, you mute the audio so that way she's not hearing that you're tic-tacking. Well,
Exactly.
tapping, I suppose, because anyway. When you look it up, you don't see that the Solar Pioneer is scheduled to arrive. There's the Yankee that's coming. Solar Pioneer, but when you look up a bit further, the Solar Pioneer is one of many civilian freighters that kind of have used Outpost Andon as a sort of port of call. So they usually will go around outside of Federation space to within the Grazer sector itself and do trades with small listening posts, each other. They might do some independent exploratory searches of planets for something to sell. That sort of thing. So this Shafiri does check as one of the people that has come by. She's not really a resident. It's just that there's, to give you an idea, actually. I actually have a map for this.
Oh, and so the Solar Pioneer we have seen at the station before, but it's just no scheduling for it to arrive now.
Yeah. Because
Gotcha.
it's between...
Ooh, look at that map.
You up here at Andon's Landing, and then the nearest other station in the whole sector is Deep Space T1, which is the station that's for watching the Tholian frontier. So it may be the Grazer sector with its station with the moons, but you're the only. So you're kind of, when they do their circuit, they'll do a circuit all across the sector between the three of you. But most people choose whether Andon's their main port or Grazer's their main port. Most people don't choose Deep Space T1. That's more of a Starfleet, like a not military, but it's a border station. So unless you have some reason to go to the Tholian space,
to the border,
no one does. There's no real reason to go there aside from just simply to check in and let Starfleet know you didn't die.
Yes, Captain Shafiri. By any chance, did you send schedule paper? Sorry, Jamie's not remembering the word for it, but just the paper. The paper, the stuff that you would for the scheduling. I do apologize. We're not seeing it in our system. I mean, it's not a problem. We will. Would you be able to go ahead and send that to us so that we're ready?
Sure, I'll send you the amended flight plan. We left it with T1 to send to you. It must not have gotten to you. Sorry about that.
Oh no, I understand. It happens all the time. Let me see here, and then I'll look at the schedule. And let's see, and then I'll look now on the idea of getting. Now that I know it's a Solar Pioneer, I'll look that shit up and see the size, and then see what docks fit that size and whether there's any available today in 6 hours.
Thankfully, the only ship in port right now is the Artemis. The other two ports are open right now, and they're scheduled to stay open for until the Yankee gets here.
And you said the Yankee is coming when?
2 weeks, I think it was 3 weeks.
Oh, the Yankee with the research and the part. Okay,
right.
Gotcha. Which, of course, now on the side note, Helix is still really clueless about that because all he knows is now suddenly the tunnel has been made confidential, but we're getting a part for the confidential. So it's like, he's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, what? Okay. And so, yeah, he gets back on with Captain Shafiri. We have 2 ports available. I have listed you down of showing at 6 in 6 hours. You have supplies to trade, I imagine.
Yeah, we heard the new geothermal mine was going to get to layer by the time we got there. So we actually bought up some parts over at Deep Space T1. So we're ready to help out in case you need any extras.
I don't think I'm the one who should be giving details, but I should go ahead and let you know that there has been some changes that might not be the same plan as you may be thinking. It would probably be good that you speak with Commander Ray when you arrive, our new commander here from the Federation.
Commander Ray? See him look off screen and tap at something.
Yes.
I thought it was Commander
there's-
Shran in command.
Yes, but now there is a Starfleet presence has been requested here, and so with that, Commander Ray has taken over. So again, that would probably be the point of contact for that type of information. According to my records here, there's no real detail that I can give you on what's going on with that project. So it'd probably be better to speak to them when you arrive. But from that point, though, we when you send the schedule over, if you have any supplies that you need also that we need to transfer, from here to your ship, back and forth, just let us know so that we can have that ready. We have plenty of people here ready to serve.
Her antennae kind of twitch about a little bit as she kind of scratches a little near one, like.
And I probably see it too, where I give her that look like, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't say anything, right? Yeah.
All right.
Well,
all right, Helix, could you put in a schedule, or do I talk with Starfleet about scheduling a meeting with this Ray, you called him?
Well, actually, what I'll do is now that I understand your concern and interest in the mining, I will see if I can go ahead and put a word up to command the situation, and maybe somebody will be able to get back to you sooner.
All right, thanks. Really appreciate it.
Because I do understand this is important. I mean, I get the impression that you've flown a long way for that specifically. Now, if I'm understanding correctly, right? And so I definitely want your stay to be enjoyable and comfortable. So if there's anything that, while we're figuring out that debacle, anything that might be able to, like I said, make your stay even better for you and your crew, just let us know. And we'll see how we can provide.
You can give me a presence plus engineering or con. Difficulty of 0. You're just letting this person know that you are handling it and that it's being yes, the flight is canceled, but don't worry, we're going to make sure that you get your dinner. You know what I mean? It's the standard.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
Now, I see this kind of like could be possibly walking the line still of the quartermaster focus. So I'll ask you. I'm not sure if that applies anymore, since we're talking about a conversation with command about something now confidential. I don't know what to speak on. So what do you think?
With the bounds of your role, I'll still give it to you, because you're trying to make sure that they're getting scheduled and they're being taken care of within the bounds of the quartermaster role. If you were trying to say, I'll get you some extra information, or hey, if you do me a favor, that might be different. But you're still being the quartermaster point of contact of, I'm not giving you more information, but I'll see if I can make your stay easier.
Exactly. Okay, absolutely. So here we go. Oh, good. Okay.
2 momentum.
And let's see. I'm trying to think of. And then at that moment, I'll say, oh yes, I just see your schedule here. I do see the list of requirements and supplies that you could use to restock your ship. So we'll definitely have that all together for you.
Okay.
And this is Jamie pausing, not Helix. You know what I mean in the sense of thinking. In fact, I'll say, until we're able to get to make sure that you and command have conversation, what we'll do is we'll get you some good rooms on the promenade, and maybe, and I'll say I actually have a way of getting a few extra credits that I kind of have on hold in this situation, so that if you want to hit up the local gambling facility or any of the shops, maybe make it a little bit more pleasant.
Well, that'd be much appreciated, Helix.
Absolutely. Well, 6 hours is going to come soon, so look forward to seeing you soon. And if there's anything else,
that's it for now. If I hear more, I'll let you know more.
Absolutely. Same here. Helix out. That's when my face will freak out. I'll be like, oh shit. Now I got to find a bottle of wine for her crew, All your Betazoid boxes and supplies are going out the window, Ray. Just letting you know.
Dude, do I have to call back home and say, "Hey, yeah,
You
can I
need-
get some more booze?"
Yeah, you need a whole new supply. No, I don't. I don't know. I'll probably look on the ship, of course, for other things too. Not. Of course, I imagine we have other opportunities other than just Betazoid wine. You know what I mean? Because we have different people, Andorian wine, etc. But and then at the same time, so there's a part of me where I write a little note on my pad. Okay, I need to get stuff for them so that they're happy while they're here because this is kind of a mess. And then I tap the button to hail command again.
Operations here. Go ahead.
Yes, operations. This is Helix. I just had a call from Captain Shafiri from the SS Solar Pioneer. Even though we didn't have a schedule for them to arrive, I guess flight plans changed and they're able to arrive in 6 hours. But I hear yes. Well, everything's fine with that. We have empty docks and we have supplies for that. That's not the problem as to why I'm calling you. However, they have mentioned to me that the main reason of their flight here and possibly staying for a while is the opportunity to get with us as well as the Andorians and everybody on the planet for the geothermal tunnel and mining. So you see my problem. I mean, you see me on the view screen raise my hand and I'm like, it's confidential. I don't even know what the hell's going on. But if I don't, I can't tell them. So
Right, yeah.
they've kind of mentioned wanting to speak with command or something to get idea of what they should do. And so I was hoping to...
The commander just walked in. I can put him on if you want. He's just right behind me. Yeah, Commander. Sorry, sir. Something, you might need to hear this. Well, you're not there.
Did Commander Ray disappear?
Starfleet operations guys is waving you over as you're about to go to your office.
Okay.
Oh, Commander Ray, Helix here. How you doing today?
I've been better. Please tell me you have good news.
Okay, no. As I was mentioning to your officer that got you, Helix probably knows all these people's names. Of
the
course,
Starfleet people are new to you. Actually, no, it's been a few
they
weeks.
are.
You know who they are now. Yeah.
Okay, so I would have mentioned that name, but I understand you just walked in the office, so let me go ahead and repeat a little bit. Just found out today I got a call from Captain Shafiri from the SS Solar Pioneer, who technically, looking through the logs, didn't have a schedule to come in, but I guess they had their schedule was going to be sent from T1, but it never arrived. And not only that, but I guess their flight time changed where, maybe arriving in 12 or 18 hours is now they're to arrive in 6, which is not a problem because we have supplies back and forth and the docking space. However, Captain Shafiri has mentioned that she and her crew were coming to stay a while in interest in helping and mining with our awesome confidential geothermal tunnel, which I can't speak of because I don't know, and it's confidential even to me. You see my problem. Anyway, she has requested then, because of that, I guess, being their main focus and mission, was hoping to speak with command on details of how they should proceed. And I thought it would be very inappropriate for me to be just like, oh, well, it's confidential now. Nobody's allowed to touch it, so bye-bye. You see where I'm... As quartermaster, that's kind of inappropriate. So,
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I was wondering if sometime before the 6 hours or at the 6 hour mark when they arrive and dock, if you would be able to maybe have a word with Captain Shafiri and fill in some type of gaps. Not saying the confidential stuff, but what they should expect. Or because, and in fact, I hit the little buttons to forward you their schedule and their mission parameter kind of thing, like
And-
ships would to you. So you'll see what they before had
what-
access to.
And what specific cargo are they bringing?
Well, I imagine some of the stuff was to join in the geothermal studies as well as and okay, I'll word it like that. As you see from the information I just sent you from their schedule, they had plans on doing some mining also, but also wanted to help and be involved in. I guess they had permission to be involved in some of the research regarding the geothermal tunnel itself and power and ecosystem and that type of thing. So according to the schedule and the proof they had originally got through Starfleet somewhere, they don't know that there's been changes, with what's going on. Of course, they wouldn't be
They would not
informed.
have been informed until they got closer to dock. So
Exactly. And so, and like I said, you will say that Commander Ray, the officer sitting in front of you, will see the little bleep pop up of the schedule information, and like I said, their mission requirements of docking here at Andis Station, and yeah. So as you see here, I think they had originally had plans to work with the researchers here, etc., to for the geothermal. But as me and that has all changed. But I was, I'm not able to give him an answer. I thought that'd be more appropriate between captain and captain. And I give you a pointed look on the view screen.
no, I understand what you're saying. I picked the bridge from my nose. Let's schedule a meeting for them in 6 hours. We'll talk with them when they arrive.
When they arrive,
Mhm.
I will send them. Absolutely, I'll go ahead and send them a communique now of that meeting. Thank you very much, Commander Ray.
In fact, do they have a stay over at the station for a couple days?
Well, initially, as you see from the schedule, yes, because they were going to stay here for a couple of weeks to involve themselves in the research. So they had already had allocated, wanted the allocation of basic rooms and this and that. You know me. Well, I guess you're kind of getting to know me. With this possibly being an uncomfortable situation, I found some way to upgrade their stay to be a little bit more relaxing and pleasurable.
I would appreciate all the help you can give me on that, Felix.
Well,
Hello?
did I mute?
Yeah, you muted. You
Oh,
said,
sorry.
well, and then you muted.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I say, well, how many more cases of your betazoid wine do you have left and are free and are willing to give up? I mean, I have other possible resources too that I'll add with that because it is her and her whole crew. But the main point is the captain.
I have 7 cases left.
Well, just need one bottle.
I'm
wouldn't
sure
mind.
we can. I'm sure we can and spare 1 bottle.
Well, Helix to the commander. How about when you come to that meeting, bring one with you with a bow on it.
I can make that happen. And you work your
Excellent.
magic, I'll work mine, and we'll smooth this over.
Absolutely, Commander Ray. Nice talking with you as always. Helix out. And lastly, I freak out on the idea of switching rooms all around the promenade. So now that they have better ones, if there's any available without taking up well, I'm not trying to go all the way to presidential suite, ambassador suite type of feel. No, but still just instead of her having her own room and maybe her crew having those bunk rooms where there's 2 or 3 to a room, maybe I raise her room up a little bit better and then get each one of their crew their own room if there's not too many on the schedule. If they have a crew of 10 or something like that. And then, like I said, in each one of their rooms, leave that little pad of not too many gambling credits, but some deal that I can make with the bar that if they give up some credits, I'll make sure they show up and spend and maybe spend more. I make those type of deals all the time, so I can just be hopeful.
Give me presence command difficulty 2, and because you have the diplomatic suite function of the station can help with this with communications command. Because now there's
Yay.
staff here that are used to trying to organize everything for VIPs in general.
Yes, absolutely. All right, and I think I'll spend 1 momentum just for 1 extra die. Let's make this good.
Momentum? Oh, I'm not tracking that. What did I do?
Oh, at least I got the 2. Okay. Oh, I can
Someone else
imagine
work for the
like.
station.
See? I imagine I was sitting there for like 15 minutes rearranging all the ships that are still to come and their rooms and all of that and expectations. So yeah, I've been like maybe at the tech thing with my employees like coming up to me like asking me for things or this and that. And I'm like, go away! I'm rearranging rooms. And supplies. Well, we have supply. No. That not that supplies. Stuff that we leave for people when like the chocolate on the bed kind of thing. And then that and that. And yeah, that's it for me. I think unless.
Yeah, you'll be
Just
tied
preparing.
up doing that for the next while. You do have the advantage
Absolutely.
created that when you deal with them when anyone deals with them while they're on the station, at least the crew of the Solar Pioneer will be easier to deal with because the station's gone out of its way to make them feel welcome.
Yeah, their rooms are now closer to the promenade for easy access, etc., etc. Yeah, exactly. And oh no, I didn't gain any momentum. Okay, so never mind. Because I was going to say if I gained a momentum, I would say I would use the that I made to give them like instead of eating at the normal like ship's diner, instead to be like credits at like one of the decent restaurants on the thing. but I didn't get any momentum, so I'm good. Yeah.
All right.
It's like out of all the stuff, that's the one thing that fell through. It's like, okay, fine.
And we will looking to the commander.
So I have that headache to deal with in a bit. What else can go wrong today?
The counselor is kind of starting to get irate with me, sir.
All right, beam me down onto their atrium.
Aye, sir.
Is there a transport pad nearby, or?
Just down the hall to your right.
Okay, I'll head there and transport me from there.
Aye, sir.
Little easier.
Damn it, he still didn't get the opportunity to go into the office and see all the good stuff Helix left him.
All right, I go to the transporter room. One to beam down.
And we cut to Shran as you beam down. Shran, unless we had you. Oh wait, no, you going to see the Federation Councilor. You backtracked that last time. I remember now.
Yeah, no.
Not sure where you are though.
Stage 4.
Oh, hold on. I have notes. Oh yes, that's okay. Never mind. I know what's happened with you.
Am I scared?
You should be.
Stage 4, that's like taking over a planet.
Well, it's out of 14, so although the 14th one is a little frivolous.
And So, Commander, you are beamed into the Federation lower section of the city. It's where basically all the from Bajorans to Tellarite to everything else that isn't Vulcan or Andorian, they kind of all ended up here as part of the where all the shops are, where their homes are, and where their counselor is based out of. They aren't inside they're beneath the top layer of the dome. They're actually more built into what was the old city. So there's a lot of Andorian architecture down here and some Vulcan inspirations because the Vulcans helped build the dome. But you can see hints of various cultures all around the place, and even when you beam in, you can see people bustling around. The person at the controls looks up at you, and Commander Ray.
Yes, I was asked to speak with the Chancellor or Counselor.
Oh, which one?
The Federation.
Oh, sure.
The Federation Chancellor.
The guy starts ruffling around inside some drawer, pulls out a pad, taps at it. Here you go. Kind of holds it out across to you.
I take the pad.
You now have a map leading to the councilman's office.
I nod to the
We're here.
officer. I nod to the officer, and I start following the map.
I'll note it isn't an officer. It's just some technician, like some civvy technician who's manning the controls.
So civilian.
Yeah. New scene. As you are walking through the district, it's almost like being in a station. It reminds you almost like Space Dock, but a lot less Starfleet, a lot more Federation. This is very definitely a civilian. This is where people live and work. Some people are talking, some people are reading something on their pad. You do see some of your Starfleet personnel here, but they're the vast minority. Security here seems to be primarily Andorian Imperial Guard. But it's more like, if you've ever been to contemporary Japan, it's sort of like the policeman at the phone box sort of thing, or in England, the bobby at a thing. It's like, there's not a massive presence. It's just, there's a guy here. If you need help, they can help, but they're not expecting too much trouble.
They don't have the SWAT teams on hold.
Yeah, like it's not something they have to worry about too much. Although you can roll Insight plus Security, difficulty 2, and you might notice something.
Nah, how do I notice? Yes, I'm gonna take the roll. Security. Focus in cultural studies?
Yes, actually.
That was a stretch. I'm just gonna stop rolling for the rest of the night.
You get
16.
distracted by the variety of smells and music you hear there or there. But eventually, before you can really piece together that's something else that is bothering you, you find yourself standing before the Federation Council member's office. And you can see it's it's the one part of the building, one part of the complex that has been painted specifically to be that starship gray. Like, it's very obviously trying to highlight that this is a official Federation office. And you can see the blue, you can see the emblem of the Federation hanging on banners just outside of it.
Okay. I ring the doorbell. Or approach the desk.
When you move up to the door and you're about to reach to hit the door chime, the door just slides open. And inside you can see a rather busy and bustling city hall, if you think of it that way. If you've ever been in a city hall where there's the various functionaries milling about and tapping at stuff. No one even looks up that you open the door, because it seems the door isn't locked. They just kind of let people come and go as they need to.
Okay.
One person almost runs into you as they walk toward the door, see you there, and go, "Oh." can I help you? Looks at your neck, Commander.
Yes, I'm here to speak with Council Member S.
Oh, far back there, the big door. Don't worry, you'll hear him. And the person very quickly skirts around you and races off like they really don't want to be here right now.
I'm gonna do an insight check just on the room in general.
Oh, give me insight, command, or con. Difficulty 2.
I'll give it to you for free. They hate you. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, and would this proc my cold reading?
Yes.
Extra question.
You have to get it first.
I heard that. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna spend that 1 momentum. I'll get the extra dice and the possibility of a reroll. Focus in cultural studies.
I'll give it to you, yeah. You get a momentum out of it. The general feeling in the room is tension, and they seem to be more not overworked, but they seem to be more active than they normally would be. It seems like this room's responding to some sort of crisis.
And
Not enough to get security attention, but enough that the whole office is now, it's all hands on deck. Like you can see 1 or 2 people who aren't in their work clothes, they're in their regular street clothes, and they must have come in on their day off to help out with whatever it is that's going on.
Okay, and let's see there. This is like a mix of civilian Federation or all civilian crew.
It's all civilians. There's maybe like 1 Federation liaison, Starfleet liaison who's there trying to, with the red collar, who's trying to get used to this new facility, but, you know.
Okay. Think. Is there a panicked feeling about it? Like, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to handle this, or is it more, okay, there's a lot of stuff to do. We have a plan in action. We just have to implement it really quickly.
More like they're at the let's get as much information as we can phase. They're not panicked because they have something to do. But they're not sure what it is they're going to be doing. They're just figuring out what exactly is going on.
Okay, so they're still in the early stages of crisis management.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we tell if the crisis is internal in the office or some sort of external force? Is there infighting, or is everyone focused on this task?
I'll give that to you for free. Everyone's focused on this right now. There's no real infighting going on.
Okay, so it's not like, someone lost a document or...
No.
Okay. So there's tension, there's hostility, but it seems to be focused outside the office. Okay, I approach the door.
Inside, you see what appears to be, it looks very much like a Starfleet officer's office. Like, it has that same sort of, like the little computer that you're familiar with, the trappings of what Starfleet personnel would use, like the pads, nearby memory chips and slides and so on. Although, instead of it being a nice, neat Starfleet, like everything has a place and I keep everything organized, there are pads everywhere. You see this Tellarite behind the desk who's looking around and trying to looks like he's trying to get some sense of something. Doesn't quite register you've stepped in right away until he looks up. He looks like he's about to shout at something, and then he looks at you. Commander Ray, sit. Didn't expect you to come here yourself.
I like to be in the same room as my contemporaries. We're gonna be
Contemporaries.
here for a while. I figure we'll start off on the right foot.
Well, let's start off on the foot of there is a massive protest on the steps of the administration building, and for some reason, the Andorian Guard aren't providing security for the protesters. They're just kind of stepping back and letting them walk wherever and stand wherever. I don't need to tell you, I assume, Mr. Commander, that the Bajorans there's quite a few since the war, and they're not exactly thrilled with a bunch of Cardassians marching up and down the dome demanding for equal rights before the law. They should have equal rights. That's not the problem. The problem is that they are stirring a lot of things up, and I'm kind of worried protesters, and I'm not sure why no one else is doing anything about it. So I would really appreciate it if you did the thing that Federation Starfleet sent you here for and help me keep some semblance of order around here, since no one else seemed to ask you. And you're rolling an insight roll?
Yep.
To what end?
Yeah, I want to know if this guy is upset at me, or is he just like, okay, I want you to do your job now. I also want to know if he's hiding anything, or if he has any ulterior motives with calling me down here.
I'll give this to you for free on the basis of your empathy. He's worried, upset in general, a bit harried under the current crisis.
Okay, so he's just scrambling for anyone and that can help, and hey, here I am.
Yeah, it's like, well, I know there's Starfleet up there. You get down here and help. I know I can do that. I can ask for your help.
I'm kind of curious about the Andorian guards standing down. Have they done anything like this before?
Well, there's normally a process where people fill in forms and the like. They kind of let us know that they're going to do it, and then they go do it, and then everyone gets to see it. We make sure media gets to see it and record it for posterity and so on. This just kind of happened. One minute the Cardassians are walking out of their little settlement out in the landing. Next thing we know, they're marching up and down the dome. And now they're in front of the administration building by this point. And I've managed to talk to my constituents about this and try to get them to calm down. So I've kept the Bajorans from going up. But I don't know how long I can do that. I can't exactly demand a curfew. It's not legal, so.
Especially since they're not Federation citizens.
Well, that's just it. They're kind of looking to apply. Remember? So that's why I'm trying not to let them think that the Federation doesn't care about them just because they're not members.
I can understand that.
Yeah, so can you do anything?
I can see about bringing supplemental security personnel down, but I would like to get a hold of Shran and figure out why his men are suddenly not doing their job. I think that politics are going to be more involved in this.
Look, I don't mean to tell you how to tie your shoelaces there, young man, but you can't just beam a bunch of guys with rifles down here and, like, this is a peaceful colony. We never dealt with the war. We didn't deal with shootings. We had pirates up in space. We had brawls. There was a murder about 10 years ago. Like, this sort of thing doesn't happen. And if you come in here and looking all Romulan about it, then it's gonna look bad. Like, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't send security. You should, but if you can get them to go home or file the proper paperwork so they don't have to do a protest, or at least when they do it, we can organize it and put it in a safe way.
So, do you want me to talk to them as an unbiased third party? Is that what you want me to do?
You tell me, you're the Starfleet officer. I'm just telling you that I don't think guys with guns are going to solve the problem. If anything, I think it's going to make it worse.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, either. Have you been in contact with Commander Shran?
Why? You're the station commander.
He beamed down on a couple hours ago.
A lot of people beam down, but don't mean to tell you how stuff works, but there's thousands of people here. I kind of had other things to do with my day.
So he has not come to talk to you then.
Not recently, no.
I'll go. I'll talk to the Cardassian. Not remember the Cardassian observer, and talk to them. I'll try to get a hold of the Andorian and council member and see what we can do about getting the Andorian guard or to do their job. From there, I don't have much option to get violent. I can offer security personnel, but as you said, that would be a desperate last resort and possibly fuel for the fire.
Well, good. Whatever it is you're going to do it quickly before this gets out of hand.
Okay, I will get right on that.
Good.
And I get up to leave.
He doesn't dismiss you. He just kind of looks at his work and begins working. Actually, he kind of didn't stop. He just kind of kept doing his work and just stops talking to you.
I don't want to metagame him here. Do I have enough of suspicion to think that Aunt Shran might have something to do with the Cardassian and rebellion?
There's not
Protest?
enough information on that front.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna make my way to the Cardassian observer's office.
Meanwhile, where's Shran right now?
I'm watching. I'm with the guard that are near the protest.
When you look, there's this massive courtyard in the center where there's various memorial statues and park benches and stuff like that in front of the administration building. And in this area, it is full of pretty much every Cardassian in the colony, and you can see them like starting to like bleed into like the side streets and the like they're all here, or at least it looks like it. And all the guards are just kind of they're standing in front of the administration building, make sure no one rushes the building or starts breaking anything, but they're not really trying to contain them otherwise. They're just staying back from it all.
How many of them have popcorn?
Do I see the observer?
You see her there as they're leading the chant of "We demand representation. We demand representation."
I walk over to her and try to get her attention.
Give me presence command, difficulty 1. She might not see you right away.
I'll take the momentum.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'll just take that. I'll just bank the 2 threat. But you do get her attention. She kind of looks over at you. And she instructs someone else to keep chanting. Do you wave her over to you? Do you tell her
Yeah,
do you signal to her?
I waver over to her and walk up to her. Observer, this is the time to act. You need to move now.
What do you mean move now? We're here. What
But
else are we gonna do?
The Federation is the vote that is blocking your acceptance. You should go to their offices. You should show them your displeasure at them locking you out of the process.
Oh. Give me Presence Command difficulty 2. She responds, and I'll summarize a bit here. She seems to be focused on the fact that this is where the council chamber is, and she's assuming that this is the place, this is the headquarters that she's supposed to be shouting at. She doesn't quite understand that the councilors aren't all living in that building. It's almost like she's used to being ruled from on high.
I guess take 3 threat.
Sure.
I'm rolling with a pretty low presence. Oh lord.
You can succeed at cost.
Do I see that she's not? Do I get the idea that she's not really understanding where I'm going with this?
No, she just seems to be getting the what you're saying at face value. Just go down there and show your anger at them.
No, I mean does she not understand the part about going to, like, does she not understand why she should go to the Starfleets? Because that's the role I've made.
Not really, no. She just thinks you want her to go and protest in the Federation district.
Okay, then instead of trying to explain it to her, I go and try to stand up on a platform and address the Cardassians myself.
Okay. How do you get their attention? They seem to be busy shouting at the building behind you.
Oh, I thought she was leading the chant so that she was in front of them.
She is, but she handed up the chanting to someone else, and she walked up to talk to you. But the huge crowd's there. Like you can like it's all in front of you. You could stand on like a nearby rise, and they'd all be able to see you.
Yeah, I jump up and shout something to the effect of, listen to me, the people denying you aren't here. They're in the offices of the Federation, and I shout that a couple of times.
Please tell me Ray sees that. Please.
There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna see that. Presence plus command or security. Or con, I suppose.
What was the difficulty?
2. And actually complication range of 3.
Can I spend my determination on only I can protect this world? Because I just left her behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna roll 2 normal dice. Oh, I did not set the complication range, but it happened anyways. I'll use the one the one you have on you is not one we actually have.
No.
Is it? Yeah.
That's mine. You can't have it. Yeah, and you actually generated 1 so far.
Not really enough to create an advantage, so we'll just have to put it in the pool.
I think I'm being messed with. But yes. Complication. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's the Federation's fault. Yeah. And they begin grabbing random blunt objects and anything heavy, and they start marching away.
Oh shit.
Seeing what's happening and realizing, I tap my combat. Shran to all members of the Imperial Guard.
You hear an acknowledgement beep that dispatch heard you.
With our current equipment, we're not prepared to handle civilian riots. Stand down and keep anyone with a weapon from engaging the protesters. Try to sequester everyone in place and prevent anyone with a weapon from engaging with these protesters. I do not need a firefight by you, Starfleet, or anyone else breaking out.
That's going to be opposed control plus security. It feels like certain people in the crowd want to do things right now because, yeah, it sounds like a great idea. Makes sense.
What? I'm opposing people in the crowd?
You're keeping them from doing what they want to do.
Oh, I didn't say I was going to stop that, though. I just said I was keeping the Imperial Guard should not shoot at them, should try to take non-Cardassians and hide them, and then not allow anyone to start a firefight.
Yeah, but they're the law. I mean, you know, how can you trust them? I mean, they're probably helping. They're Federation too. So it's more like you're trying to tell your guys how to handle this without them becoming targets.
Okay.
And it's control because you're giving them detailed instructions like, no, be very careful how you do this. I want you to do a very specific thing so you don't get these guys attacking us.
Combat tactics?
With increased complication, yeah.
What was difficulty?
Opposed.
Ooh.
This is the best show ever.
I'll buy a momentum.
I'll spend a
take the
threat.
momentum. God, I cannot roll.
Ooh.
So
They tied.
nothing happens.
What you get back is that the most that you get back from dispatch, like you start getting reports back from various members of the guard, and dispatch organizes this for you, so you're not hearing like everyone in your regiment trying to talk to you. Not regiment, that's too big, but you know what I mean. Your contingent. The most they can do right now is they can be there, but they unless they start using some actual physical force to not necessarily to hit people, but just to stiff arm and push people away from areas. They don't think they can keep any more control than they already are doing. Like right now, all they've been able to do is just be there and be present. And because they haven't done anything in particular in front of the protesters, they're not being looked at too much because people are used to ignoring the guard around here because they usually aren't a threat to the populace. The protesters might see them as that, but they think this. Some of your lieutenants think that they can, if they're allowed to use some level of force, succeed at basically you're creating a complication for yourself, but you can succeed. It's just that your guys are going to be seen to be using some level of force beyond 0 to try to influence what's going on. Because some people like who should be pulled away, like some of the people safe, they don't really want to move. They don't know why they should move. And the guard's like, look, I'm just going to grab this guy. If I have a permission, I'll just grab this guy's collar and haul him out of the way for his own good. Like, look, buddy, I'm trying to help you. Move. I'm not arresting you. I'm just getting you out of the way.
I'll accept that.
Okay. The observer, who's been at your shoulder this whole time. I hope you know what you're doing, Shran.
We're just gonna have to have faith in your people. They're gonna have to help liberate themselves.
Oh, we could take on the Dominion. What's some Federation types anyway? Slaps you on the shoulder and she starts walking off.
I'm gonna stick near her.
Okay. We cut over to a much refreshed Tamira, who's had some time to gather herself and get her head on straight. And what is she going to do?
I believe last session wanted to go down to the Vulcan section to look into Dr. Sevna.
Okay. So you step onto I assume you're transporting down.
Yeah. Please don't scramble my molecules.
Difficulty 5 check. No, I'm just kidding.
The complication range 5. Got it.
Maybe it makes sense.
I mean, only through an ion storm.
So as you beam into the Vulcan district, you notice that there is a distinct lack of the Andorian guard here. And it looks like a lot of the buildings are a lot more secured. But otherwise, it's a rather calm day in the district.
She's going to walk up to the nearest representative she could find.
So someone in Vulcan security, effectively.
Yeah.
He looks over at you.
Greetings.
Greetings. Do you need assistance, Lieutenant Commander?
Yes. I wish to know where the Science Administration building is at.
The primary one is in the upper ward. You'll be able to find that in the map here. If you wish to see the individual doctors and research projects, they are in the trade and residential quarters further down.
I wish to speak to the head researcher. Well, current head researcher.
Currently, all research is being overseen by the council member, actually, personally, given the amount of resources that we're going to have to use to ensure the success of the project.
Very well. I wish to speak with them.
He takes out a pad, taps at it. You should find him in the Temple of Sarek. He should be still meditating there.
She just nods and heads towards the temple.
You don't find him in the main. You're actually guided to him in the small cells further in the temple, reading over some texts, while also in like a text on the actual desk, and then looking at a pad every so often in his hand, and then looking back down. Lieutenant Commander. He stands up, puts down his pad, closes the book.
Greetings. I am Lieutenant Commander Tamira.
I am familiar with you and your work. What brings you to this temple?
I wish to inquire data on Dr. Sevna's research.
To what end?
My recent encounter with him.
Do you not have access to his records within the Federation database?
Some of it is classified.
Then I believe, Lieutenant Commander, that you are not clear to know that information.
But it deals with a strange disturbance down in the mine shaft.
I see.
I'm sure you're aware of it. It would be most unlogical for you not to be.
I am aware of a great many things, Lieutenant Commander.
I assure you, Dr. Sevna's journey was most productive.
Oh?
Insight check.
Insight plus command. I'm going to call this difficulty 3.
Oh. Yeah, no focus. I think I'm going to use my determination on this. Logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end.
You'd have to sell me on that.
It would be most logical to get all of Dr. Sebna's research materials on what he's been working on, study, and to really figure out the nature of this anomaly and why he did what he did.
I'll give that to you, yep.
I'm spending the momentum and giving you a threat. Let's roll a third dice. Because I got a 10. Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
We all suck today.
It's just 17, 15, 17. So, Insight Command is not my strong suit.
Heck, I couldn't even make that roll.
Tamira, was it?
Yes. Sorry, what is your name? I am not familiar with everyone here.
Sorry. GM just saw a message and he's laughing. I'm surprised you don't know who I am. I am Council Member Varric.
Type that out for me. I only arrived a short time ago. My briefing on everyone was not my purview.
Indeed, including the current armed protests, which is involving the violence against the Federation people here on the colony.
That would be the logical assumption of as to why the Andorian guards are not present. This is a civilian matter, though.
Well, it appears that the Federation Council member requested Starfleet assistance. It seems a logical choice, given that the Andorian Imperial Guard did not step in right away. Almost like they set aside their duties for some reason or another. But that is speculation on my part, I can assure you.
Are you speculating that Commander Shran, the Chief of Security, is in
I would never
plotting?
infringe upon the character of a standing, serving Imperial Guard member. I speak actually of Council Member Chefalia. He is a very ambitious man who will use whatever it takes to advance his goals. I've had to work with him before, and maybe now he's choosing this time to chase your Starfleet officers off.
You seem troubled by this protest.
I am not troubled. I'm able to look after my constituents and those I'm responsible for. Whether your commander can do the same remains to be seen.
I'm sure Commander Ray has been informed of the protest. It would be illogical to assume that he has not been.
It normally would be, however, he is currently walking into a rather empty bit of platform, wondering where a certain council member is, as the Cardassians have, as the humans would say, pulled stakes and left, as they are the ones protesting. Minus the old and the children. If he intends to seek wisdom from children and can gain it, then Commander Ray is indeed a capable officer.
To what end do you think the Cardassians will gain by protesting in such a manner?
If I remember the chant correctly, I believe it is they want a council seat instead of an observer position.
But they are not member species of the Federation.
Indeed. You can see why certain council members would wish to oppose such a venture.
I do believe it is in the best interest for all parties to work together. But with the Cardassians, their protest may be unbiased. She kind of quirks an eyebrow, trying to gauge his reactions.
This guy's hard to read.
He's probably gone through Kolinar, so
Yeah.
she has not.
He just raises an eyebrow when you don't talk for a while.
If you like, I will voice your concerns with Commander Ray.
That may be wise, Lieutenant Commander. Live long and prosper. He gives you
Council
the gesture.
member, if you would like, if we could have this discussion after I speak with Commander Ray, I would like to have access to those files. It is imperative to my research.
He begins walking out of the room, and he doesn't seem to be acknowledging you anymore.
Most illogical. She taps her comm badge. Lieutenant Commander Tamira to Commander Ray. Please come in.
As Commander Ray walks among what amounts to a ghost town.
Right here. Come in, Commander.
Commander, I just spoke with the Vulcan leader, Vark, he is most concerned about a certain protest that is currently happening within the Federation district, led by one of the Cardassian leadership. It appears that the Andorian security forces are not doing anything about it. He was
Yes.
also troubled that you have not initiated security protocols with Starfleet.
I was hoping to avoid sending armed military personnel down here, but if Shran is not cooperating, then I see no choice.
I would suggest maybe unarmed security officers. If you do not wish to escalate things,
Sending them down anyway would escalate things. I don't want to send men down here without at least some type of protection.
wise. However, I was informed that you were walking into an area where you were searching for someone who is not there.
I am quickly realizing that.
I believe your efforts will be best focused on in the Federation district.
I'll meet you there.
Before you cut, Commander Ray, I want you to roll for me daring plus security. As a child walks up to you and holds out a toy to you. Mister, look at this.
During security, I'm dealing with another culture, so cultural studies. So I know what. So I know what type of toy this is.
With increased complication, I'll give it to you. Hold-
Who knew being a xenoanthropologist was so handy? Hey!
Oh no.
Oh
I'll
no.
lose 2 threat. So a Cardassian child runs up to you and holds out a small box in her hand. And at first you see it and you're not really sure why the kid's shoving a thing at you. Like, okay. And you have this bad feeling, like you remember something exactly like this happening somewhere.
Oh no.
Rerolling 2 of them. The device explodes in a flash of energy. And Tamira, you can actually hear a loud bang on the other, electrical charge going off over the comms as Ray suffers 4 damage.
How rude.
That was very rude.
Commander,
And the child is unconscious and breathing labored. And the few people who are looking in your direction, as you're kind of standing there blinking off what just happened, and this child's just laid out in front of you with burn marks on her hand.
Yeah, I start administering first aid. Tamara, I have a medical emergency in the Cardassian district.
understood.
Get to the Federation district quickly. I'll meet you there. And I, ray out, close the channel, and I contact the nearest medical personnel. Like, I call 911.
You tap your comm badge, and when you try to contact the colony medical emergency service, They apparently are just swamped right now. They have no personnel free due to the chaos in the colony. They advise you call the station. Apparently, there are some Starfleet personnel out there who can be of assistance.
All right, I'm gonna have to initiate emergency protocols. I contact the station.
Operations here. Go ahead.
We have a situation down at the colony. I need a security personnel beamed into the Federation and district immediately, and I need medical personnel. I need one medical team beamed to my location. I have a young Cardassian child who with injuries. We also need to be prepared for more medical emergencies.
Aye, sir. I'll get on it. Doctor,
Yes.
you're informed that there's a medical emergency on the surface, and apparently a Cardassian child is endangered in some medical emergency. Also, there seems to be the emergency medical service of the colony is swamped right now and is asking for whatever aid the station can give because they just don't have enough people with what amounts to be a riot that's occurring in the colony.
All right. I'm gonna pull an emergency medical team together. Do we have, other than the notice we got about the Cardassian child needed attention? Do we have any other like specific locations that we know are hotspots?
The Federation district in particular.
Okay.
And I would want medical teams like at least around the Federation district to be able to take care of injuries, like set up triage field hospitals.
Okay. Yep. We're gonna go ahead and set up a an emergency medical station somewhere in the Federation district. Get all the as much first aid equipment as we can down there, and get triage.
Doctor, you can do that, and I will have you. There are two ways about this you can do it. Now, you can either grab whoever happened, basically having a whole hands on deck, like Dr. Allcome, as it were, like everybody, drop what you're doing, help me with this. That will actually give me one threat because you're bringing down a medical detail somewhere. Alternatively, you could try to bring support characters into it to try to help organize what's there rather than bringing down just numbers. You bring down quality officers who can try to help with it. Or you can try a presence plus medicine roll. The problem with the presence medicine roll is that that's you, the doctor, just organizing this effort, and instead of giving me any threat, because you have no momentum to buy the details, so you'd have to spend threat to get it.
Yeah.
Quickly, you can do through presence medicine organize or command. I imagine medicine's better, to try to get all your ducks in a row and then send them down. The problem is there's going to be delay if you do that.
Okay, take the threat then.
Okay. I'm taking one threat for the medical detail, as you basically just grab whoever you can and say, whatever we're doing, stop. Just help me with this medical emergency. During all this, as you're racing around trying to get everyone settled, Helix.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently there's an going riot by on the part of the Cardassians, and everyone's in a tizzy asking and requesting various things. The medical department is racing around trying to grab up whatever medical supplies the station has. Security seems to be arming up with whatever weapons they can bring. But they haven't been told to beam down yet, but they're getting ready. And actually, someone on the station calls for red alert as there's an emergency in effect on the surface.
Oh, great.
And no one's really bothered to tell you more than that. You're hearing this like third hand through your personnel.
Okay, so my thought would be is two things. Usually the needed things are engineers for braking, brakes, power outs, that sort of thing. So I want to make sure get those teams ready. And then and I think once you had stated that nobody has told me anything and I don't have information, my first thought is all those engineering folks that I have should at least have on them all the medical supplies that I have available to me to be ready for anybody who needs to take it. So I'll have them grab that, but then and let medical know that either they can, the engineers can bring it to them or meet them with the supplies down there. What else? Engineer teams, equipment, their emergency repair kits for any type of power or that sort of thing. And then just having people available for whatever. So I think the other thing would be is other than my crew and available crews that that might be asleep, I will call them awake. And then any civilian volunteers that I know on a regular that when things like this happen, they're ready to be open hands to help at any time. I will call them into play. And being quartermaster, I probably have room for the good old large person beam out transporter.
Yeah.
Where we groups of like 10 or 15 or 20. And I don't think I have. Yes, I do have transporters and replicators. So, and then immediately I will go man that.
You actually are told by one of your personnel that someone on the surface is trying to call you right now, and they quickly amend that because that doesn't narrow it down. Everyone wants to talk to the station right now. And then he points out it's the counselor. It's the counselor, the Federation counselor, S. And S as like one of the oldest Tellarites he's lived here long before everyone else was here, sort of thing. He's one of the he used to have your job way back.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Counselor Helix here. How can I help you?
I need myself and all my staff out of this building. I need to get them to safety.
One moment,
if you can
please.
just do me a favor, get me ahead of the line, I'd really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. One moment, please. And I'll go to the transporter and do a scan for him and his associates in that building. Yell, clear the pad.
They start you see people starting to grab and pull stuff off because they were starting to load it with people, and they're like, "Oh shoot, okay."
Oh well, okay. That part I didn't know. So what I would say, let's do the opposite. In the process of bringing them up, I'll say emergency beam out needed. So everybody who's on the pad, get ready to go down.
Nice.
But
Okay.
other than that, stop trying to load. That'll be on the next. And then so beam them down, and then immediately, like we mentioned, scan the counselor and them, and beam them up.
Hey, Ray mute. Oh, you muted your headphones, but you didn't mute your mic, so I didn't know if you could hear us.
I could not hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we could hear you talking during the middle of someone else's dialogue.
Sorry.
One of the things you detect, and when you do the scan, you see a variety of people. And you see that there seems to be a clump of Andorians in there as well.
Okay. Do I know if the counselor has a contingent of Andorian assistants to where I should beam them up to? Or
maybe a lot of things have changed on the colony right now. Maybe given the riot, he might have brought people with him.
Okay, and so what I'll do is I'll beam those on the pad down, because again we're using the big pad, and so having them unload all that would just take time, right? So I immediately beam them down. And while that beaming is in process, I will recontact the counselor, because I imagine there's a role I got to do, but that's up to you. And then, counselor, I'm about to beam you up. Please, really quickly, give me a list of in the general area of you and your assistants, so that I know who to grab.
And while that communication's happening, that's when Shran walks into the counselor's office.
Are there any? As soon as I walk in, do I see any members of Starfleet?
You see one.
I point to him. What's your rank?
Ensign, sir.
Ensign. Take your phaser and stand by that door and don't let anyone through that door.
Aye, sir. Takes his type 2 phaser and walks over to the door. A lot of the people in the room start looking at you with a look.
I kind of motion around to them. Get in any office, and lock the door.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You hear the counselor step out. We're getting beamed out of here. We need to gather up.
If you tell me right now that you're willing to hold a vote, I think I can stop this, but the Imperial Guard cannot stop this without bloodshed unless you're willing to give them what they want. I only have plasma rifles. I don't have phasers.
And he disappears in front of you. No, I'm just kidding.
You can attempt presence plus command. Opposed, he wants to evacuate rather than stay here.
Would you allow me to use survival since I'm trying to convince him that he would be okay if he stayed?
It'd be more deception because you're wrong.
Oh well, I'm not trying to deceive him though. I honestly think that I can protect him.
I'll give it to you at decreased complication.
Oh, you need threat, don't you? Yeah, I'll just I won't take the increased complication. I'll just buy four dice. Buy up to 4.
Counselor, I need that information.
Oh, never mind.
Oh shit! Right? I'm like, counselor, I need that detail, please.
Well, at least the complication's negated.
Everyone in the building, Helix, including the Andorians in my office.
Beaming now.
And you're going to give me a control plus engineering roll. Difficulty of... I'm going to say 4.
Okay. I have 3 determination spins, so we're spinning one now. Let's see. Supplies and people are my wheelhouse. I think that's the one right now. Because I would never... The only two, the other one is I can fix anything. That's engineering. And then the last one would be I would never ask anyone to do anything I wouldn't do myself.
I'll give you supplies and people are my wheelhouse. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, and then... Wow, there's no threat. Shit. Well, like Winchester said, let's give you some threat. So I guess I need 5 to get me to 4. And then my focus is replicators, transporters.
Sure.
And I think that's all I can set for my hope of 4 now. Oh, shit. Any talents? Incisive scrutiny? No. Neural interface? No. Maintenance? I know my shipping station.
You did get it because you spent determination.
Yeah, and I think I'm just going to have to... that's why I'm looking at my talents to see if there's anything I could do about that complication, but I don't think so.
I'll take a quick look. I don't think so either off the top of my head.
Yeah, because... you
have a neural interface, man. Plus the station would help, come to think of it.
Oh, and then I get a roll of d20. it's okay. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yeah. Well, the station didn't help.
Oh shit. Okay.
There goes the complication.
Oh yeah, it switches from a red zero to a regular zero. That's right. Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay, and 4 and 4, I matched up. No momentum game, but I got them all up. Oh, come on. One of the determination I got. There we go. Okay.
As Shran, you are beamed up with everyone else in the office.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Oops.
Counselor didn't want to argue. A rare thing for him, but he's like, I just beam us all here. Screw it. I want to leave.
Yeah. That's right. And as I'm standing behind the tech the station, I look out, see the commander or Dorian's assistants, and then Shran. I'm like, wait, did you? And then I just shake my head.
I look at Helix. I need to be back down there now.
And that's when the doctor and his medical staff walk into the room for their turn on the pad.
Yep, you can join everybody as they get on the pad, and I say, hurry, medical team. Need to do this quickly. And of course, I wait for all of them to join you on the pad.
GM, do I have the capability of calming the Cardassian observer?
It's possible, but given the situation down there, it's possible that the comm channels are busy.
Okay, I'll let.
Because a lot of stuff like that's routed through central communications, and probably everyone and their dogs talking to each other down there. You might get through. You might not.
Okay, while I'm being beamed, I'll try.
Dr. Lorba.
Yes.
You and your team are walking up to beam down, and you see Shran there with some of his staff.
There's a medical emergency down at the colony. Are your people doing crowd control or?
I look over at my nearest person. Lieutenant, I'm placing you in charge of the doctor's protection. You go wherever he needs to go. You're authorized full force to protect him.
Aye, sir.
Whoa. The last thing we need is a firefight during a medical crisis.
It is chaos down there, Doctor. I listened to the commander.
I can either protect you, or you're going to have to fight off Cardassians on your own. Your choice.
Fine.
To bring down the security detail, it's going to cost two threat.
These came with us, didn't they, though? So are we spending to use the same people we already had?
Basically to make sure that they're not too tired and you're able to buck them up and let them know that they can continue on. Because right now they're the guys you have with you kind of had to help you get there, and they weren't kidding. It was chaotic. They almost want to take their leave and get replaced by new personnel. But if you wait for them to get refreshed, time's going to pass. So you could do a present security and try to swap out who you have for fresh people. But that will take time.
Yeah, I'll just spend the threat then.
Where are we beaming, Doctor?
Federation District.
I look at the doctor. Doctor, that is ground zero. I would start somewhere else if you could.
Okay.
Administration's pretty cleared out.
I'm sorry, what's pretty cleared out?
Administration, Doctor. It's the upper ward above the Federation area. They all file down from there, so we'd be following up behind them.
Fine. We'll use that as we'll use that as a temporary base of operations. Get our equipment set up. Also, we're going to need to send someone after Commander Ray's signal. He has wounded with him. They might need help transporting.
The lieutenant looks over at you, Helix. Administration, please.
Administration dialed in. Everybody ready? Got your supplies?
As ready as we're gonna be.
All right. Beam in process. 3, 2, and then I start.
And so that includes Shran as well.
No, I'm going back to where I came from.
So you step off the pad.
Yeah, I step off the pad.
You're beaming here. More people file in as there's engineers, even more medical personnel.
Is any of them going towards the way Shran is going?
This team's they seem to be sending people down this way toward the Cleon district and near the Cardassian district.
I try to kind of keep them off the pad and turn to Helix. I need to go if I'm going to stop this riot.
We have injured civilians
okay.
in the Cardassian ward, Shran. We can't be standing around here waiting for to hog the transport. Take a different one.
You're going to have twice as many people to heal if I can't stop this.
The doctors look over at you, Helix, because it's your pad.
Absolutely. And I look at them like, as much as it's a larger pad, we're talking 5 seconds to beam Shran and then get them all on. So I motion Shran on and give him the look like now or never.
Yeah, I go.
And I literally start the beam whether he's on it or not. Just like, right? So
That's
you
how I
beam
end
and
up
rock.
without a foot.
Possibly.
Where are you beaming him?
To where he said to go back where he was. So
Okay,
back
right.
to
So you're being back into the building. Give me control engineering difficulty 4, because you're trying to hurry up and beam him out before the doctors start yelling at you.
Oh shit! Difficulty 4. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Succeed at cost will be an option even if you don't get enough. It just the closer you are, the worse, the better off you'll be.
Understood. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've saved up all my determination for the last few weeks. So I do have 2 more. But okay. Well, yeah, I'm just in that mind that if Shran's not close enough, he'll have to deal, because again, I'm dealing one person, and compared to 20s or 30s that this pad is normally supposed to, with that I'm supposed to get. So I will spend 3 threat to get the 4th die.
Okay. Oops.
And I still have all the normal focuses. So, and then somebody doing the station, could you grab that? I have 2 of the 4. Oh. Shran is probably a section, like a city block away.
With your neural, you can reroll one of your dice.
Oh, that's right. Keep forgetting that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Oh well, it's worth a try.
Right? I'm like, and I look at Shran as he's going. I'm like, this is gonna be rough, but you want it in a hurry, and I just.
Where do I end up?
We'll find out later. Don't worry.
A bathroom somewhere.
Lieutenant
Restaurant.
Commander Tamira.
So, how screwed am I?
I'm having you roll daring security as some Cardassian takes a swing at you. You get into the district and there's just people, and then what? And then someone tries to take a swing at you.
Nerve pitch.
I see that as a way to oppose that. Yeah.
Take a threat.
Sure, I'll spend it. Why not?
Vulcan martial arts for a focus.
Yeah, I think that applies.
Oh god, reroll the 0.
Well, you fend the guy off. And thankfully, he doesn't bother pressing the fight. He just took a swing at you, sees the uniform, kind of, whoops, sorry, and goes on to hassle somebody else.
She continues towards the front, where it would be illogical for the leader to be there. Hopefully, who's leading the protest?
Insight command difficulty of 3, complication 2.
Survival for a focus.
An increased complication, I'd give it to you.
You know what? Why not? Actually, no. It's not worth it. I'm rolling to have a command 2 for commands. Take a threat, I guess.
Okay.
My odds are not very good.
There's several leaders here, really. You do find Andorian security, the guard, because they seem to be although they're mainly focused on getting bystanders out of the way of the riot and trying to protect people without really coming at the rioters. One of them actually walks up to you and goes, looks at your collar. Lieutenant Commander, you can't be here. I'll need you to move back. Unless you're part of the security detail.
She just ignores and keeps moving forward to the front of the crowd. Not so much she's looking for a leader at this point. It's just to get ahead of, unless this dispersed throughout the whole entire area.
Daring security, he tries to grab you. He doesn't let you walk away from him, or he tries not to anyway.
Vulcan martial arts for a focus. Gonna nerve pinch him. I mean,
okay.
I'm sorry. Take a threat.
Sure, I'll spend it. Oh, goodness.
Rerolling at 0.
Oh, hey. Yeah, you got a momentum, and you're able to fend him off. You can do damage to him, too.
That's good enough.
Ow! And you're able to walk off because he's not willing to get into an extended fight with you about this. As you're not carrying a heavy item or shooting anybody, so he just waves you off.
And yeah. So when she gets to the front, assuming I get there.
As you're milling around, you actually run into Dr. Lorba and some medical staff that found because you moved toward a space that's opened up, like there's actually a break in the chaos, as there are now some Starfleet security down there. Actually, no, it's not Starfleet security. I forgot who's there.
Andorian
security have secured one of the one of the clinics for the doctor to use. And you find Dr. Lorba doing his best to keep up with the insane amount of injuries that he's dealing with right now.
This is getting out of hand. We're going to need twice as much staff as I have right now.
I don't think we could fit them in this room, Doctor. We'd have to take another clinic or hospital, but we'd have to go up top.
All right.
Ma'am, if you're not injured, we need you to step back. If you have a cold, just leave.
That would be illogical. I am trying to find the source of disturbance.
It's absolute chaos here, Commander.
Where there's chaos, there is always serene. An epicenter to the chaos.
All right. Well, if you find it, can you bring it over here? Because right now I'm up to my ears in patients that I can barely.
I'm meant no. The service, Doctor, is just merely making a comment. If you don't mind, I will proceed on my current path.
All right.
Good luck.
Good hunting, as it were.
Why would it be illogical for me to wish me good hunting when I am not hunting?
Right.
Dr. Lorba, please give me a Control or daring, your call. Medicine to try to keep some semblance, to try to actually save some people.
Okay. Would field medicine apply as a focus?
Yes. You're staring at a complication 2. Difficulty. Now, you can set the difficulty, and this changes how much of an effect you have. Difficulty 2 is bare bones medicine. It's enough. The people who would be dying are at least not going to. There's going to be a bunch of people who might get maimed or scarred or traumatized, but whatever. They're not dying, so who cares? If you bring it up to 3, you can try to make sure people get quality care, and make sure that people who are like have broken arms get them set. People who are a little traumatized get a counselor or at least somebody with some semblance of mental health training. And anything beyond that is not only treating just the civilians and the odd rioter, it's treating everybody that you can, and actually getting some of them to help you. Like actually start extending out your bubble of healing, to put it that way. Like to instead of just being in the clinic, you can go out into the side streets and create a larger safe zone.
Cool. Let's go for difficulty 3. The difficulty 3 effect then.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend that momentum as well as giving you 2 threats. So I get to the 4th die.
I'm going to increase the complication 1 more. You're looking at complication 3.
Okay, let's let's see how this goes. Oh, booyah! I just made it. And I spent momentum, so that I'm gonna roll on top. Okay, well, no extra momentum. Too bad.
You spent the momentum, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We cut to Ray. Yeah, that medical team's taking its time getting to you, and this kid isn't looking too good. If you don't do something now, it's probably not going to get. It's probably going to devolve.
Okay. So medical team's not out to me yet.
Not yet, no.
And I have a medical skill of 1. Yeah, this is not gonna go. Oh, good. I'm just gonna call out. Call out in the streets? Is there anyone nearby that has any medical experience?
Give me presence command. Difficulty 2.
Someone's gonna have to roll for me.
I got it. Where are you? There you are. You do have persuasion, so I'll give you that. None of that applies. So you do have a focus. You're looking at a 16 roll at the moment, with 2 dice. Do you wish to spend? Do you wish to spend any threat or give any threat? I should say.
Let's give 1 threat for an extra dice.
Okay.
What's our current threat and momentum?
Current threat's 10. There's no momentum on the table.
Okay, let's roll. Roll with 3 dice.
You got it on the dot. 2 hits as you find some old Cardassian who has some field training from back in his service.
Okay, I hand off medical care to the old Cardassian and say, okay, you take care of this. I gotta go somewhere else.
He nods and does what he can. Where do you head off to?
Is the station responding to anyone?
You have priority because you're the CO.
Okay. Commander Ray, to Station Andon.
Station here, Commander. Go ahead.
I need a site-to-site transport from my location into the Federation Square.
Stand by. Operation to Helix.
Helix here.
Priority 1, commander needs a site-to-site, giving coordinates now.
Please don't scramble my
I've got
headphones.
them. I got the coordinates.
Oh,
And then that moment where if the pad is free, I will start that immediately or tell everybody get off, it's emergency.
yeah, you're looking at, because you're beaming site to site, it's a difficulty 4 roll.
Yes, but that's what I was waiting for my next determination. So we will give you, again, just supplies and people are my thing. We will spend 2 or 5, 2 or 5, 2 or 5. This is what determination's for. So spend 5 to get my 4th die because this is a difficulty 4. And do that. And then I still, does somebody have the station?
Oh. Doop. Oh, hey.
Oh, I got 2 momentum. Transport complete.
My ass on the right side.
It
You
is.
you beam into an open, one of the few open spaces left in the Federation district. Funny enough, it seems to be the council room, since no one's in here right now. There's a lot of chaos everywhere, and there's there was 3 momentum gained there, Tamira. And a random Tamira steps into the room, the ransacked office, looking for something, and finds you there.
Mirror report.
There is not much to report, Commander. There is currently a riot going on.
Have the medical teams beamed down yet?
I believe I ran into Dr. Lorbra and a medical team. They seemed rather preoccupied.
Well, hopefully they're preoccupied with broken noses and not broken ribs.
I can barely hear you.
He said he hopes they have broken noses and not broken ribs.
Yeah, right now all we hear is the outside wind wherever you're at.
Commander, I suggest we find a way to quell this current riot. I do have security teams standing by on the Artemis to beam down at a moment noticed.
And you can hear plasma rifle fire in the distance.
They're outside.
With that, she's not going to hesitate and tell the Artemis to beam the security teams down, which that's, I guess, a momentum and threat spend.
Just a momentum, because you've already escalated bringing down security. You're just adding more security, honestly, which is not a bad thing, given the current situation. I'm not saying what you're doing is a wrong choice. Security guards arrive in your location and await orders.
Commander, I suggest we investigate the current shots fired into. Hopefully, is not a escalated situation.
Yeah, if shots are fired, that's not a good thing. Let's go. I'll investigate that.
You can give me insight plus security. Difficulty's 1 because you have a security detail with you to help.
I don't know what Ray's stuff is, but I'm rolling a 10.
His inside security is 13.
I should have focus in tactics. Will that
You
help?
do, yep. And I'd be willing to give that to you. Current threat is 13. Current amount of momentum is 2.
I'll spend one moment.
You're at 3 dice right now.
All right, let's roll.
Gain 2 momentum. As you are able to ferret your way out to what appears to be a chaotic gathering of Cardassians and Bajorans and some Andorians all fighting amongst themselves as some of the plasma rifles are firing up into the crowd, and there's a panic. In this crowd is one Commander Shran, who has unfortunately beamed into a crowd of people who got surprised by him beaming in, and then it just kind of escalated. It kind of got out of control quickly. Shran, you've just had enough time to beam in and avoid getting hit a couple times, and then you're hearing shots.
Is there anything I can stand on?
For 2 momentum, there is.
Sure.
You find a upturned box you can stand up on that no one's knocked around. And actually looks pretty heavy. If anyone does try to kick it, they're going to break their foot before they move it.
I shout out, they're gonna have a vote. You've gotten what you want for. Stop this violence.
And that's when, and you can actually see in the distance a Starfleet detail, including Commander Ray and Lieutenant Commander Tamira, who hear you and see you yelling that. Meanwhile, you can roll me a presence plus command roll. It's opposed, since someone wants this ride to continue.
I'll spend the determination I got from the milestone I got from wheeling and dealing on only I can protect this world.
Okay, yeah. So you actually get
One momentum.
one momentum out of that. As you're shouting down at least this part of the crowd, and the Cardassians start disengaging and dispersing. There's still more riding elsewhere in the district, but this group at least has calmed down.
I hit my combat. What was the Andorian counselor's name again?
Chephalia.
It's what?
I'll put it in the text.
All
Chephalia.
these hyphens in everyone's name. Okay. Shran to Counselor Chephalia.
You try to raise him, but when you tap, it just kind of cancels out.
I try again for the Vulcan ambassador.
No response, as you notice your Starfleet counterparts approaching you, because you're the only person here, part of the security detail or a rioter. So a Vulcan, a Bajoran, a Betazoid, and an Andorian stand in a riot.
In a bar.
Sounds like a bad joke, because it seemed like the Vulcan will leave immediately.
Yeah, you guys can see that Shran's tapping at his combat and trying to contact people and not getting. He's just getting canceled out signals from his badge.
Is there a problem, Commander Shran?
No, we were able to get your poorly defended counselor out of danger. I'm afraid I have things to attend to. Do you need me for anything?
I believe your job is most warranted here to help disperse this riot.
You are in charge of the Andorian guard. Why don't you start doing your job and start guarding these people?
This is a matter for the guard here on the planet.
Indeed it is,
Your
Commander.
input is neither warranted nor valued.
But that is incorrect, Commander, since the council member of the Federation District asked for our assistance not too long ago. I can confirm this by when I spoke with Councilmember Varric during my conversation with him.
Were you able to assist him?
I'm sorry, assist him with what?
I guess you weren't able to assist him. It seems like you failed in his request.
His request was for us to help start dispersing the riot. I just started beaming down security teams. But you have seemed to fail at your. It seems that the protest moved from one location to another.
The guard
Sirs,
who is it?
you notice it's a junior lieutenant in the in Starfleet Security Forces.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Just got a report. We found where the ringleader is further on. There seems to be a brawl just outside of the clinic that the doctor set up. I think they're trying to rush it.
Then I suggest we shall approach there.
I'd just break out and to run to that area.
So Shran starts running.
I follow suit.
Tamara, now's your chance. I mean, what is Tamara doing?
Side-to-side transport. It's the quickest way from point A to point B.
I can do that.
You call up to operations. Operations Felix lets you know that you have a priority 1 request for transport. Site to site, difficulty 4.
With a security officer. That she's polling like, no, you're with me. They're running. It's okay. You stay with me.
Do we get any more reputation if we spend a whole bunch of determination in a game?
Oh, don't worry. Above and Beyond's coming up for everybody here. So.
All right. So, yeah, 3 threaten those 2 momentum to make sure this happens, since we know it's a difficulty of 4.
Complication goes up to 2.
You rolling 5 or?
Oh no, I'm rolling 4 because I'm spending my last determination.
Oh, then it's just the 2 momentum and 1 threat.
Oh, I have to spend one more threat. You're right.
Wait, I'm confused. You spend
It's
2
just
for 1 die, 3 for the 5th. So I'd have to spend 5. So
it's
2
6 for
momentum and 3
5th.
threat.
It's 6 for 5th, 3 total for 4, and just 1 for 1 extra dice.
But he's using his determination, so one of those dice is bought.
Oh,
by
he's using. Okay,
determination.
I was confused.
Yeah.
Then never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then never
So
mind. Yeah.
2 momentum and 3 threat, yeah, for my 4th. And then all I need is the ship, and I think we just got a whole bunch of momentum back.
Yeah.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yep, 4 momentum back, and you are there.
And we'll resolve.
And what's
Hmm?
Oh, I was going to say, what's funny is most likely Helix has been doing a lot of this beaming. So this is just one of the, it's suddenly in the midst of all of them, right? So yeah, it's just like, just checking off the list as I go along, getting everybody beamed. Good stuff.
That's true. Sorry, I saw a message and I have to address it. Shran, are you trying to go somewhere without the Starfleet guys behind you noticing?
No.
Because only a handful of them beamed. The commander and his security staff are right behind you.
No.
Oh, okay then. Commander Ray, you notice that Shran isn't heading toward where your officers are leading you, like where the security team knows where the medical facility is. He seems to be veering off and heading off a completely different direction. But we'll deal with that later because he's busy at the moment. Meanwhile, we'll resolve over here. Edon, Lorba,
Yes.
remember that whole thing I told you about there being issues? Well,
Yes.
apparently, the leader of the Cardassian, the Cardassian official observer, the leader of this ringleader of this riot, protest, has been dragged in with severe wounds. She's dying. Unfortunately, there is a lot of angry people who really want in. There's a bunch of Cardassians trying to hold the line. There's Andorian security also trying to hold the line. But you're advised by the security detail that you have that they've seen this kind of thing before. That crowd looks like it's going to rush the clinic. They want her head.
Oh, of all the freaking! I walked towards the front of the crowd. I walked towards the crowd and
As you
pick
start
up.
walking over, your Vulcan counterpart beams into the room.
Oh, great! I could use a cooler head in this situation. Come with me.
She just perks an eyebrow.
All right. As I approach where the entrance, I'm gonna just pick up some random discarded debris in the ground on the ground that I know will make a very loud noise, and make the loudest noise I can to get everybody's attention.
Presence command difficulty 2.
Oh, this isn't great for me.
It's too bad you don't have doctor's orders.
Yeah, seriously. Would a focus and persuasion help me here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and spend 1 momentum.
And actually, I'll increase complication up to 4.
Oh, I shouldn't have rolled then. Well, what are those? Okay, well that would have been that would have been 2 complications then, based on the dice.
Yeah.
Can I spend my bank milestone to reroll?
On what value?
I will survive. Because this is gonna get ugly.
That applies, actually.
Yeah, I thought it might. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and reroll. Okay, well that's difficulty 2 then.
My complications went away. No. I mean, good for you. But yeah, you bang. You make loud noise. The crowd agitates, but thankfully no one takes a shot at you. But yeah, you have the crowd's attention.
Okay, this is where injured people go. Injured people are coming here to get help. So if you're not here to get your injuries taken care of, I want you out. You can do whatever you want outside the area. Right now, this is my clinic. Capiche?
Give us the Cardassian! She's a murderer! 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 Murderer!
Okay.
Some people start throwing random bits of garbage at you.
Is she inside?
Yeah, and there's doctors like all around her trying to keep her alive.
Doctor, I think your presence is needed.
All right, fine. Do something about these. Do something about them. Get them out of my clinic.
Understood.
They can have her head after if they want her head after I save her life. That they can deal with that then. But right now, we're saving this woman's life.
Shut up, Altera.
Didn't say a thing.
He's lost it.
I felt it from here.
It's okay, I lost it yesterday too.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, Tamira, angry crowd, angry doctor. All perfectly logical.
Are they still throwing trash?
Oh yeah. Not all of it's getting in because some of it's just paper, so it just kind of catches wind and goes the wrong way and bops somebody. But thankfully they're not throwing rocks or anything heavy.
Please disperse, or you'll be forcibly be removed. I will call more security people down. I don't care at this point. We got a crew of 750. Pretty sure 20% are probably security officers.
So yeah, you can attempt presence plus command. Difficulty of at least 2. Actually, no, I take that back. I forgot what's going on. It's going to be opposed.
Opposed.
And of course, complication range goes up to let's see, to 2 to 3.
You have 3 momentum. I have no focus. You know what? I'm going to use a saved milestone. Based on the value, to spend that determination, motion in a crisis only makes things worse.
I'll give that to you, yeah.
I took a lot of Vulcan quotes, alright? It works.
Go ahead.
You take 1 threat. I'm going to spend momentum to roll 3rd dice.
Thank you, Facebook. I'm aware I have notifications. That's very helpful. Thank you.
4.
Oh. With the increased appearance of Starfleet personnel who start getting up to the crowd, along with the backup, the ones you're beaming from the Artemis, the backup that Commander Ray's coming with, and the Andorians who are taking the hint that they should start looking a little more menacing instead of just standing there, they start forcing the crowd back. And at the very least, they're not going to continue their attack. They're going to stay out there, but they're not continuing to push in.
Is that 4 momentum gained?
Yes, it is. I whiffed completely on that one.
Just making sure.
Doctor, you have a dying Cardassian who really shouldn't die. Just, not to put pressure on you or anything.
Yeah. Even if she's a
Yeah.
filthy Cardi. I mean, what? Go on.
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
The irony has not escaped me. Okay. Is it just traumatic injury or?
Give me a moment. I'm thinking.
No worries.
I'm going to press. I'll offer if you want. You don't have to, because I can't force it. I'm going to offer the pushing your value. I will survive as a negative to give you a determination. The basis of this is that where you are right now, this is going to take time, and it does look like your the science officer was able to calm things down, but this situation, as you saw not long ago, kind of escalated fairly quickly, and it could do that while you're doing open heart surgery in some clinic. So you can push this negative, your value as a negative, to get a determination point if you beam up to the Artemis right now to save this person. Or you can try to save them there and take your chances with your milestones and other choices. I'm just offering an option because it makes sense, given that your character may be a little freaked out because, yeah, it's getting pretty hairy, and yeah, this is how doctors get mobbed.
You know what? Okay, yeah, we can. Yeah. Emergency transport directly to the Artemis 6.
Now, how many people do you beam with you? Just you and your patient, or do you beam like Tamara? Like, who's going up?
Myself, myself, the patient, and one nurse to assist with surgery.
Excellent. Spin through 3 momentum.
Oh, you don't have to do the roll. I'm saving him that problem
Oh!
because the Artemis doing it. So ha.
Yeah, but you see that roll.
Oh no.
So that was the Artemis. I'm just saying.
Right? But yes, Dr. Lorba, you are aboard the Artemis with your patient, and I'll let Tamira know the consequence of what you just did in a moment. But we'll deal with your patient for now because they're dying, and that's something you kind of need to deal with. On the plus side, hey, determination. So you're looking at a difficulty 4 task. It would have been higher, but you're in a med bay right now.
Okay, so we got control medicine. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to spend that determination just gained on I will never turn my back on people who need me as my value. And I will spend an additional 2. You know what? Difficulty 4. I already have 2. I just need 2 more successes. Yeah, I'll spend additional 2. Take 2 threat on that because I want to be able to use my reroll if I need it.
So how much momentum are you spending? Because we have 6.
Okay, can I split? If I'm buying a third die, can I spend 1 momentum and give 1 threat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Best of both worlds, baby.
Complication increases by 1.
Okay. Okay, so that does get it to 4. And I'm gonna go ahead and put on top potential.
When the
Okay.
threat
The
and
ship would help.
The ship would help though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
I will say computers plus medicine. Not that it matters. They're both the same number. It didn't make things worse.
All
It
right.
almost made things worse.
It's good they didn't up the complication range anymore.
Yeah, seriously.
I ran out of threat.
But you got 1 back because I rolled an effect.
That's true. But yes, you are able to stabilize your patient, who, from what you can see, was shot with a phaser. The other stuff hurt, and probably like she was battered, someone hit her, there's blunt force trauma, tearing from like someone grabbing at her, abrasions from hitting the ground. But what was killing her was a phaser shot, point blank, right up against her sternum.
Gotcha. Can I spend one of those momentum on and obtain information spend to determine the manufacturer of the phaser, like if it's like a Federation phaser, Bajoran phaser, or anything like that?
You can, yeah.
Okay, let's spend that momentum then, because I want to know.
It is a Federation Type 2 specifically.
Profits. Damn it.
I can fix this. I'll go back to the time tunnel. Back in time. Stop the riot. Sorry.
This
And
will
we'll
be going
cut
in my report.
to Shran very quickly getting into the chamber. I'm pretty sure you're able to get in with Jephalia. As he's not quite playing the fiddle, but he is enjoying a nice Betazoid wine. His chair not pointed toward you; it's pointed out his view as he looks out into, well, it's a rather peaceful ground because someone cleared the area, but he seems to be enjoying himself.
Before I walk into his office, I stop, like ready myself, like straighten my uniform and all that stuff, and then I walk in calm. Counselor.
Commander,
We managed to stop the riot mostly. There are some parts that still need to be dealt with. But to do it without bloodshed, I had to promise that you would conduct the vote we talked about.
I'll call for an emergency vote.
It would seem that the Federation Council member has fled and he might be unavailable and might not be able to have his vote counted in such a session.
Much as I like that idea, Commander, we would be lacking quorum and would not be able to convene unless he was dead. If he happened to have died during that riot, that's a different issue.
I would have to look into it to establish his health. But if you desperately need him, I will have him in the council chambers as soon as you can get the Vulcan ambassador in the chambers.
Apparently, he decided that he wanted to gardens today. I think he was expecting this. He turns around and looks over his shoulder at you. It's almost like someone let him know that something of importance would be happening today. He grins and sips his wine.
He's telling me that the Vulcan ambassador has also made himself unavailable?
No, he's here. He's in the building.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he was in the gardens as in like he was off somewhere doing something else. Okay.
No. So you get me the Federation Counselor and you'll have your emergency vote. How they're going to vote, that's up for us to figure out.
It's unimportant, sir.
Ah. I'll go on then. And if he's dead, let me know. That'd be most beneficial if he was. Expedient, if anything. Not that I'd ever wish the man harm. Old goat.
Sir, one more thing before I get him. Y'all might need to also vote on increasing my authority so that I can deal with some of the rabble rousers and those who illegally armed themselves.
If you wish to be part of such a vote, I can't put that on the docket. You'll have to be present to make argument.
I will make myself available. Although I don't wish to come off as wishing to join the council or anything. This is simply requesting emergency powers.
The further from Andoria you get, the closer you are. You'll have your say, Shran.
Thank you, sir. I have a colony to protect.
He waves and turns his back to you and looks out the window again.
Am I able to get a comm link with the station?
Yeah.
Station, I request to be transported to the location of the Federation ambassador or counselor.
Stand by. And we cut to Tamira, who you
Is
hear a beaming noise.
dispersing the riot. Of course.
Yeah, because there's a lot of angry people who just want the guy who, the lady who started this, as far as they're concerned, escape. They don't seem too pleased, and they want to. They seem very encouraged to try to rush in. As illogical as that is.
If you have a formal complaint, you can file it with the magistrate. Till then, I suggest you go back to your homes peacefully.
You can give me opposed presence security. Sorry. I'm rolling presence security. You can roll presence command or security. It's almost like someone's pushing this crowd to keep doing things.
Right. You know what? I'm gonna roll 4 dice.
How are you gonna do that?
Have momentum. Sorry, no threat for you.
You only have 2 momentum, though.
We had 5.
Yeah, because Helix's roll didn't fire.
No, that was before.
Yeah, because we're up at 5.
We were at
Oh, you were?
6.
Oh.
We were at 6 for a while.
I just saw there was 2 on the board, so I was like, huh?
Yeah,
we just watched him spend it.
Oh, really? Oh, I missed that.
That's why I'm like, wait, we just watched him.
Very good. Spend the 1 threat for a die. Can you imagine how I was confused? Like, what? What are you talking about?
Wow.
Can I use my... never mind. Actually, we'll use another saved milestone to reroll 2 on Vulcan's Never Bluff.
Yeah, because you're giving the impression that you're not. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
It's a tie.
These is tie.
If you're willing to suffer a complication,
I suppose I'll succeed it.
you only took 2 stress, as despite the fact you got a lot of the crowd calm down, someone in the crowd found the heaviest rock they could find and hucked it at you, and you get winged in the head. The rest of the crowd's confused because they all were really. Most of the crowd is confused by that because they actually look worried like they're gonna get shot at because someone did that. But yeah, that hurt. But
she points to security to grab him.
Firing squad.
No.
The crowd.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Detain him, please.
Give me opposed roll because this person doesn't want to get caught. You can roll presence plus security or presence con.
It's the same thing. It really is.
This guy gets a free D20 because they're escaping from a rather dangerous situation at the moment.
I'm gonna use my last saved normal milestone to gain a point of determination.
Don't fool alone. Me and you just ran through them.
Yeah.
Doing the whole dollar thing. Dollar. Yeah. Training.
I'm gonna sell this on you. Inefficient facts always invites danger because he seems like he might be an instigator in all of this.
I'll give you that.
And you said presence con or security?
Presence command or security.
Oh, it's the same thing. Spending a momentum. Or no, yeah, never mind. One momentum and giving you a threat. Why not? Oh God. Well, there's
Holy
two.
shit. At least 2. 3. No, that's him. Never mind.
He's helping.
Right?
I can't re-roll that. So it's gonna have to stand.
Yeah, still 2 to 1 though.
You hear some phaser fire, and they're able to get him.
Oh, they had to shoot him. That's the complication. Great.
Yeah.
Well, it's done at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thankfully, you actually brought down Starfleet personnel. It wasn't just plasma rifles involved in the arrest.
Now, please return to your homes and disperse.
Between your commands and the instruction of security, the crowd's slowly being dispersed. And actually, you hear murmurs. There's an emergency vote, and people are starting to file off because they want to go see it. Like they're going to the nearest screen to see what the emergency vote's about, which they can kind of guess, but. One of the security personnel under you says, Lieutenant Commander, situation seems to be as calm as it's going to be. We can leave the local authorities, but if you want, we can augment them since we still have...
I suggest you stay.
Yeah.
Do not intermingle with the security, though.
Ma'am?
There's something...
Aren't we allies?
We are. Something seems off. I am not sure what it is. Be on your guard.
I am.
Because it is highly unlogical that the station security would allow this riot to go full force as it did.
I am.
And as a precaution, she's going to have more security officers on the standby on the Artemis, just in case. The vote, people don't like what they hear from the vote.
We cut to Helix briefly.
Yes.
As finally, no one's asking you to beam anyone up or down. No one needs to emergency be site-to-site beamed anywhere. You actually have nothing to beam at the moment. You've been at that console for 3 hours. Just constantly keeping things organized.
Wait, and I only have 3 hours left to get together Captain Solar. Now I'm looking through chat to try to find all that stuff, but that was like 50 million rolls ago.
The Solar Pioneer.
Well, of course, the main thing was to make sure that the Tellarite counselor, because he's, Tellarite, we're probably friends, so I made sure that he had his normal his normal counselor's, suite that I imagine, that there's probably available for when the counselors come up here. Okay. Do I get the impression from him that things are weird and he feels and this goes kind of like what Ray was saying earlier, just to where I don't want to metagame anything by accident. But does he feel insecure, like he needs protection?
I'll give you insight plus security or insight command to get that difficulty 2.
Okay. Spend the 1 momentum for a third die. I don't have any focuses.
No. I don't think so. I'll double check. I'm
well,
pretty sure you don't.
I mean, yeah, quartermaster means moving people around, but not knowing how.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'll give you 2 threat more for the 4th die.
Okay. I'm spending those for a different reason.
Oh shit.
I'm just, unless you have a reroll in there, I'm just taking 2 threat.
This is that moment where the neural interface. Let me read exactly what it can do.
You need to be using the station. The station has to be assisting you. Like one of the systems.
Okay.
I've been looking at it recently. That's the only reason I know it off the top of my head.
Right? I was like, okay.
Get it? Top of
Well,
head?
how about, how about incisive scrutiny? Let's look at this one, because I am a Tellarite for this reason. Knack of finding weak spots in arguments, theories, machines like information from them, learning the things on how they respond to pressure against vulnerable points.
But that just gives you a free question to ask me.
Oh shit, okay.
Which, hey, you did succeed, so there's that.
Yeah, how many momentum did I get in the sense of taking care of that complication?
Oh yeah, you can buy it off. You're right. Yep. Because because the difficulty was 2. You got 2 above, so yeah, you could spend the 2 momentum and kill that complication.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay. So what I can tell you is that, given your role on the station, you know a lot of people from the colony. He does confide in you briefly, and he kind of hushes himself so everyone else couldn't really hear him. And he kind of hinted around his worries, but you kind of figured from what he was saying that right now he's worried that Starfleet, he's scared, and he thinks that perhaps the station's going to need to seize command of the colony to maintain order. Like, that's how worried he is about how bad it is down there. Like, he evacuated his entire staff out. So, whether he thinks something fishy's going on, he hasn't had time to gather that information. All he knows is that a riot erupted, and then it very quickly started heading for him. So he's wondering if this is some sort of hostile action by a alien force.
Well, since you actually said those words, it gives me now something to trigger off of. So, and in that whispered tone, do you worry for your safety even here on the station?
On the station, no. Now that I'm up here, I feel safe. Starfleet will keep me safe.
Well, absolutely, but remember back a couple of years ago where we set up that panic room that's hidden in the stations, so that when you don't want to be up in the normal presidential suites, you can be hidden away, and that other special room we set up?
Yeah, I didn't know if you still had it, though.
No reason to get rid of it.
Hey, if you still have it, I'll use it. There's nothing wrong with taking extra precautions. Especially when they're secretive.
See? And then that way you don't have to be like, what do you call it? A nail sticking out with security around you and this and that sticking out like a sore thumb.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go hide out, and, anything that we need to get you can just be beamed in. And so I grab one of my crew, probably one that's like my second in command, like right under me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them to watch and take care of any other emergencies to come up. And then I think what I do is I set a site-to-site transport, or well, actually not site-to-site, pad-to-site transport, where I put in, my security. I then once it beams us, it erases itself.
Okay.
Kind of like one of those things, like maybe it's one of those things where I get on the pad and I just say computer, Helix, backup, panic room, or panic, maybe not panic room, because I don't want anybody to have an idea of what I'm doing, but just like panic Alpha 7-3.
Yeah.
And then we're just on the pad and me and the counselor disappear.
Okay. So you guys go elsewhere. Oops.
Now, believe me, I was waiting for trigger words specifically, but because I'm Tellarite, he's Tellarite,
Yeah.
family got to be, yeah.
Now I imagine, given your past history, that Commander Shran would have been made aware of this panic in the past, since he was the station commander.
Oh shit. Well, but no, and that's what's funny about it, is because I don't know Shran's behind anything.
Yeah.
From my perspective, that's the bonus. I think that's the fun part for me, is because no, you're right. I'm sitting here looking at that value, like, so in my opinion, Shran's supposed to show up, right?
Yeah. On the plus side, you're there when he beams in.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I would think from my perspective, with everything going on, I would be like more worried about Cardassian influence and this and that, and just, and then Shran showing up to protect him, if that, or whatever, and then but you're right, I think that makes for a good story, because this is that moment where I have no clue of what Shran's doing or this or that, just, yeah. And so, however it turns out is going to be even funnier.
So I beam into this room with them.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that, because you weren't there with us.
No,
Just
but
Shran
I
knows
did
where
ask
it
to
is.
be beamed to his location.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, then yes.
Like, you and the council probably have some time to chat, but then that's when Shran beams in.
I bow. Counselor?
Shran?
Sir, I have gathered the guard and we have secured the council chambers, and an immediate vote is being called. I'd like to gather Station Starfleet personnel to guard you so that you can attend this vote. This vote is necessary to maintaining order. If not, the Andorian guard, armed only right now with plasma rifles, will be tasked with putting down a riot which will result in a massacre. I need you to come down to the council chamber to help me prevent that.
and the
I'm not
riot has already stopped, right?
To protect you. And to assuage your fears, I'm not asking you to come down under Imperial Guard. I'm asking you to come down under Starfleet Guard.
You're gonna have to give this guy a presence, command or con roll. He really wants to stay here. He doesn't want to go down. He's very scared about going back to the surface until he's told by station command that everything's fine.
My last determination spent on Andoria first, because this is deception.
I'll give it to you under that, yeah. Whoops, that's the wrong character. Oh well.
Oh, damn. At least I got 2 successes.
So that's correct. That should be higher.
Mojo.
And he gets very argumentative with you. Not hostile necessarily. He just gets he starts pulling apart to make sure, absolutely sure, that your plan makes sense, at least to him. Oh no! So he increases his complication range. Extra die.
Incisive scrutiny. I know it well.
We're matched, but he has a complication.
And his cool
His
thing
puppy
won't let
bit him, huh, Moji? Ooh. That was a loud one.
I'll accept a complication negating them to win.
No, you got it.
Okay.
He makes his arguments, but he leaves an opening that you're able to say, yes, but Starfleet's going with you, and that's what you wanted. You're like, oh, right, I did say that.
Helix will enter his codes because, like, even when he found out that Shran was beaming here, he still had to do it himself from there, just so that because people don't know where the safe room is.
Yeah.
And so Helix will enter his code and command and beam them all to where the normal transport room is, because it's better, because one thing to beam inside the station to inside the station, but from no pad to no pad kind of thing, he just doesn't want to deal with that. So he definitely wants to make sure there's a pad between here and down. So he'll beam the 3 of them to the transporter room onto that pad, and then it might even surprise the person there, but then tell them to, and then just say you're relieved, and then beam the 2 of them to Shran's, or to where they're doing the vote.
The 2 of them and just any Starfleet personnel with phasers that happen to be in the area, I guess.
Yeah, we'll just
or
grab
a security team if I can make a call for that real quick.
Okay. And lastly, we cut to Lorba. Ow. Dr. Lorba.
Yes.
Your patient's stable. You have a chance to actually step away from her for a second. You start filling out your report because a lot's gone on. You've been informed that the riot has seemed to calm down finally. You still, and some of your personnel is helping you. It's already coordinating the efforts while you're figuring out what exactly to report. Where your head nurse comes in. Doctor.
Go on.
I thought I should let you know. They found the commander. He's hurt. He's at the hospital in the colony.
Get me down there.
Aye, sir. And with that is the end of the episode.
Oh, good, because I don't have any more determination.